Welcome to our continuing series, Fine Poetry. Today, Richard Wilbur, Part 1. When I browse through my books of poetry, stacked shelf upon shelf, and I pick up a book of poems by Richard Wilbur, I will immediately turn to his wonderful poem, Praise in Summer. Afterwards, I leaf through and find gem after gem. And so today, our series, Fine Poetry, is dedicated to this poet who twice received the Pulitzer Prize for Poetry, in 1957 and again in 1989. Born in 1921, a biographer writes, Richard Wilbur is a poet for all of us, whose elegant words brim with wit and paradox. Wilbur succeeded Robert Penn Warren to become the second poet laureate of the United States. He has not, as many modern poets, eschewed the use of rhyme, marrying it with rhythm, has often created splendid and thoughtful works with lasting images. Praise in Summer. Obscurely, yet most surely called to praise, as sometimes summer calls us all, I said, the hills are heavens, full of branching ways, where star-nosed moles fly overhead the dead. I said, the trees are mines in air. I said, see how the sparrow burrows in the sky. And then I wondered, why this mad instead perverts our praise to uncreation? Why such savors in this wrenching things awry? Does sense so stale that it must needs derange the world to know it? To a praiseful eye, should it not be enough of fresh and strange that trees grow green and moles can course in clay and sparrows sweep the ceiling of our day? Wilbur often exhibits wry humor in his poems, which elicit a smile and a nodding acceptance of the way things are. But he goes much deeper in many of his poems, touching the moment with a phrase or an image that stays with us. Parable. I read how Quixote, in his random ride, came to a crossing once, and lest he lose the purity of chance, would not decide whither to fare, but wished his horse to choose. For glory lay wherever turned the fable. His head was light with pride. His horse's shoes were heavy, and he headed for the stable. March 26, 1974. R. Frost, 100th birthday to Robert Frost. The air was soft, the ground still cold. In wet, dull pastures where I strolled was something I could not believe. Dead grass appeared to slide and heave, though still too frozen flat to stir, and rocks to twitch, and all to blur. What was this rippling of the land? Was matter getting out of hand and making free with natural law? I stopped and blinked. And then I saw a fact as eerie as a dream. There was a subtle flood of stream moving upon the face of things. It came from standing pools and springs, and what of snow was still around. It came of winters giving ground, so that the freeze was coming out. As when set mind, blessed by doubt, relaxes into mother wit. Flowers, I said, will come of it. Museum piece. The good gray guardians of art patrolled the halls on spongy shoes, impartially protective, though perhaps suspicious of Toulouse. Here dozes one against the wall, disposed upon a funeral chair. A Degas dancer pirouettes upon the parting of his hair. See how she spins, the grace is there, but strain as well is plain to see. Degas loved the two together, beauty joined to energy. Edgar Degas purchased once a fine El Greco, which he kept against the wall beside his bed to hang his pants on while he slept. Orchard trees, January. It's not the case, though some might wish it so, who from a window watch the blizzard blow white riot through their branches, vague and stark, that they keep snug beneath their pelted bark. They take affliction in until it gels to crystal ice between their frozen cells, and each of them is inwardly a vault of jewels, rigorous and free of fault, unglimpsed until in May it gently bears a sudden crop of green-pronged solitaires. Riddle. Where far in forest I am laid, in a place ringed around by stones, look for no melancholy shade, and have no thoughts of buried bones. For I am bodiless and bright, and fill this glade with sudden glow. The leaves are washed in underlight, shade lies upon the boughs like snow. Boy at the window. Seeing the snowman standing all alone, in dusk and cold, is more than he can bear. The small boy weeps to hear the wind prepare a night of gnashings and enormous moan. His tearful sight can hardly reach to where the pale-faced figure with bitumen eyes returns him such a God-forsaken stare as outcast Adam gave to paradise. The man of snow is, nonetheless, content, having no wish to go inside and die. Still, he is moved to see the youngster cry. Though frozen water is his element, he melts enough to drop from one soft eye a trickle of the purest rain, a tear for the child at the bright pane, surrounded by such warmth, such light, such love, and so much fear. The beautiful changes. One, wading a fall meadow, finds on all sides the Queen Anne's lace lying like lilies on water. It glides so from the walker, it turns dry grass to a lake, as the slightest shade of you valleys my mind in fabulous blue lucerne. The beautiful changes, as a forest is changed by a chameleon's tuning his skin to it, as a mantis arranged on a green leaf grows into it, makes the leaf leafier, and proves any greenness is greener than anyone knows. Your hands hold roses always in a way that says they are not only yours. The beautiful changes in such kind ways, wishing ever to sunder things and things' selves for a second finding, to lose for a moment all that it touches back to wonder. Having misidentified a wildflower, a thrush, because I'd been wrong, burst rightly into song. In a world not vague, not lonely, not governed by me only. Juggler. A ball will bounce, but less and less. It's not a light-hearted thing, resents its own resilience. Falling is what it loves, and the earth falls so in our hearts from brilliance, settles, and is forgot. It takes a sky-blue juggler with 5 red balls to shake our gravity up. Whee! In the air the balls roll around, wheel on his wheeling hands, learning the ways of lightness, alter to spheres, grazing his finger ends, cling to their courses there, swinging a small heaven about his ears. But a heaven is easier made of nothing at all than the earth regained, and still and soul within, the spin of worlds. With a gesture sure and noble, he reels that heaven in, landing it ball by ball, and trades it all for a broom, a plate, a table. Oh, on his toe the table is turning, the broom's balancing up on his nose, and the plate whirls on the tip of the broom. Damn, what a show, we cry. The boys stamp, and the girls shriek, and the drum booms, and all come down, and he bows and says goodbye. If the juggler is tired now, if the broom stands in the dust again, if the table starts to drop through the daily dark again, and though the plate lies flat on the tabletop, for him we batter our hands, who has won for once over the world's weight.